What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me today, my good buddy Andrew Santangelo. Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing good in the baseball world. A little nervous about tonight. We'll see what happens, but no, I'm very excited and thrilled to be back on.
Yes, so I'm glad you say in the baseball world the Phillies are right now.
Yeah, they're 500. That's what they're going to be.
Yeah, well, it's better than the Red Sox, so I can't talk shit. But you're a 76ers fan, and you told me just now you might be going to game 5, correct?
And I might. It's all bought as long as there's, or I guess there is a mic because there's not a guaranteed game 5 yet. But
Well, yeah,
as long as there's a game 5, I will be attending that game in Miami.
that will be fun. That will be
It'll
fun.
be a lot of fun.
All right, so let's get right into it, guys. Let's get into Say Hey Plays 28. Say Hey Plays 28 officially underway here. And we've had a pretty successful day so far, Andrew. Let me catch you up on what has happened so far. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays today. I've got 2 left on the schedule today, and we will see if I add any more. Let me grab my pen here to make sure I got these shit written down. We'll go over the bad first. Kansas City Royals team total over 3.5. Big loser. Adam Wainwright on the road. I think Adam Wainwright just needs to be farther away from St. Louis and where his house is there. The farther he is from Busch Stadium, the worse he is. And Kansas City, unfortunately, a little too close. He dominated a Royals lineup that's been disappointing to say the least.
He just likes messing with you. That's all.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. Next game, I got a push. I was a pretty fortunate push, actually, in Seattle. Houston, first 5 under 4. Matt Brash. I guess I'm in a tough relationship with Matt Brash. Did not look good again. He's one of my guys. I want him to succeed, but man, I'm in a group chat with a bunch of baseball guys, gambling guys, and they said Matt Brash might be in AAA by next week, and it's like, oh my god. So you got to think, worried about that a little bit. So we'll see there. But I did get a very fortunate push. Bullpen comes in and Verlander does his thing, obviously. And those are the 2 bad things that happened. Let's go over the good. First 5 under 3.5 Mets. The Mets Braves game 0-0. Perfect there. And I got both of the Cleveland team totals. It was 3 minus 110 and 3.5 plus 125. And as JA is saying here about his A's first 5 under 3.5, which is still 0-0. So shout out to JA. Easy cash with the Cleveland team totals there. Very easy. Kind of exactly how I expected the game to go. I got a little fortunate. They ended at 4, but it's cash is cash, money is money, and exactly what we thought it was going to be. Shout out to Teflon Don, Top Set, Sam Comer, and Ron Lofton in the comments so far for us today. So yeah, it's been a successful day, and I updated the record. As you guys can see right now, we're at 110 and 84, up 31 units now, plus 31.24 units. And we're feeling great. We're feeling great right now. We've got two plays left, so I could dip back down to 29. But we're feeling good so far. Andrew, how's your baseball season going? I know you're a big Phillies guy, but anything else you're watching around the league, something that's catching your eye so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to catch as many games as possible, being a MLB TV subscriber. No, I think the team that's impressed me the most so far, I have to give. I know they're with how much their offense is struggling. The Twins just continue to find ways to win, which I think is one of the most surprising things. With how I think we all expected their offense to be pretty good, but it's kind of struggled. But they still find ways to win. So imagine when that offense gets going a little bit. And I know you're a big fan of always the championship hangovers. Braves, man, how about their World Series hangover going on right now? I know they played good today against the Mets, but I think that's been pretty surprising as the slow start Atlanta's had.
Yeah, I bet on your Phillies, unfortunately, to win that division, thinking that they were at plus 500. So obviously it was pretty high odds. I was thinking that it's probably going to be the Phillies and obviously the Mets in that division. I thought the Braves weren't going to be as good. But the Phillies are going to fall off, and the Mets, I guess, are going to cruise to that division. We'll see. I mean, the Braves, obviously, they showed us last year that second half they can pop off and come to life. So we are not going to overact yet. But right now,
Well,
Braves are in trouble. And also, by the way, in non-baseball news, Andrew, I know you won't say this, but Real Madrid just advanced to the Champions League final in a very crazy game. So, very crazy game for there.
also, I just feel bad for all Cincinnati Reds fans. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's just brutal. Like for baseball, I mean, 3-20 at this point, and I mean, did you see the? I can't remember if it was Sunday or Monday, but when they dropped like 3 straight pop-ups, I was just like, man, I
Oh,
feel bad for that fan base.
and by the way, shout out to JA here. Hey Jose, Mad Bum was ready to whoop some ass. I want to know post game. I don't watch the post game interviews obviously because I'm doing this. I want to know what Madison Bumgarner said post game, and I want to know if that umpire got his ass kicked after the game because boy, that guy was staring daggers right into Madison. That was nuts. That was
That was
crazy.
crazy.
All right, so let's get right into it, Andrew. I think we've chitty chatted enough. Let's get right into the game. Chief joining us, Mike Smith, Anthony in the chat. Appreciate you guys all for joining. Let's get right into it. First game on the docket here. Coincidentally, the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Texas Rangers. Martin Perez and Zach Wheeler on the bumps here. And Andrew, I've got money on the Phillies. I'm glad that I've got
Again?
you here. Yes, I do. It's interesting. It's very interesting. These Phillies are, and I think they're Jimmy the Bag early this morning, so they're becoming his favorite team to bet on or against because they're very predictable. And I think Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola are pretty predictable. I mean, Aaron Nola surprised me with a good start at the Mets last time out, but it seems like Zach Wheeler and him are just big home guys, and on the road they seem to struggle a lot more. Um, Zach Wheeler, let's go through his last 3 starts. Obviously, he's 1-3 with a 5.79 ERA, a little high, but as you guys know, for people that watch the show, he didn't even throw anything in spring training, like any competitive innings against anyone else. So his first 2 starts were kind of rough. But he came back last time out. He had 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned run, 7 Ks, 4 walks. A little concern there, a little concern. Before that, versus Milwaukee, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 Ks, no walks there. A little toughy. And then at Miami, his official blow up, his 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs there. Phillies are 15th right now, 97 against lefties. And Martin Perez, man, it's been fantastic. What can we say? Andrew? 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, no walks. He was perfect through 5. I bet against him with Justin Verlander on the other side. I was pretty confident. And I mean, he was perfect. What can you say? So I'm interested to see what this Rangers. I'm interested to see what Martin Perez does again because I'm going to keep fading him, Andrew. I'm going to keep fading him. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to keep fading him because he's going to fade eventually. So I'm taking the Phillies first 5 minus a half. I got it at minus 120 for you for all the people tracking at home. Minus 120. Andrew, what do you think here? What do you have on your Phillies today?
Well, I think I have a hard time believing to lose to this Rangers team twice in a row. So I don't. I do like that first 5 pick there by you. Phillies are mixing up their lineup again today. They got Alec Boehm hitting leadoff, Nick Castellanos hitting second. So they switched things up there, putting 2 righties at the top of the order, 2 of your best hitters so far this season. Phillies hit Martin Perez pretty well as well. So I think one thing in terms of the Phillies I'd keep an eye on would be the total runs for them over 4.5 in Philadelphia. They hit lefties pretty well so far this season. So I think again with the lineup switch as well, and I have a hard time believing the Phillies will lose 2 straight to a Texas team at home, specifically at home, not even on the road. So I think that's one thing I'd keep in terms of plus on top of your first 5 is the Phillies game total of over 4.5 runs. But overall, I have a hard time trusting the Phillies and the Rangers, so I'd stay away from this game if I'm being honest.
Is that you just being a Philadelphia fan, being scared of your Phillies? Mike Smith agrees with you though.
Partially, but when you're
Phillies
playing a
can't be
500
trusted.
ball like they're playing right now, I mean, they have no rhythm. I mean, they win two, they lose two. Again, you lose to a Texas team yesterday, this Rangers team who's been struggling all year. And like you said, Martin Perez has been throwing pretty well so far this year. So who knows which Perez is going to show up as well. So I don't know. This is just again. I look at the over 4.5 if I was to do something.
I'm gonna look at the first 5 under. It was spoken about earlier this morning, and I hadn't moved on it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna move on it now. Actually, I hope the Phillies. I'm gonna hope the Phillies don't bomb off of Perez. But I'm taking the first 5 under 4.5 to 3.5 just because of how well Perez was pitching. But we've got a force 5 under 4.5 at -125 for this game, and I made that official. I just bet it. So I'm writing it down right now. So I'm taking 2 bets on the Philly game. So I guess I will be, well, I should say I would be watching the game, but I live in Texas, so I will not be watching that game. So Andrew, let me know how it goes, huh?
Well, unfortunately, the Rangers are also blacked out in Oklahoma, so I have to listen to the game as well.
Yes. God, baseball's so cool.
Right? I'm like 6 hours from the Texas Stadium, but don't worry, they're blacked out.
Baseball is so cool. JA saying full game over spot here. All right, let's keep it moving here. Next game on the docket, Dylan Bundy and the Baltimore Orioles versus, or I should say, Dylan Bundy and the Minnesota Twins versus the Baltimore Orioles, and Kyle Bradish back on the bump. And it's Bundy Day again, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan Bundy murdered me last night, took a slit right in my fucking throat, and took me out back. It was a tough start for Bundy, and a lot of you guys were actually fading Bundy. It was the day that it was like a start up. They had a winning streak, then they moved cities, so it was kind of like an obvious spot. But I was already on the Twins, and after the morning show, I kind of knew it was going to lose. So I'm not taking anything here. Have a little PTSD from Bundy, what he did to me last time. The Minnesota Twins right now, Andrew, you touched on them, their offense. Excuse me. They are right now 8th versus right-handed pitching at 111 weighted runs created plus these last 2 weeks. And remember, all my weighted run created plus stats are from April 17th. April 17th. So take it from there and from there till today. Right now, the Orioles are 20th against right-handed pitching at an 88 weighted runs created plus. And Bradish was not bad against the Red Sox. He has a good AAA stats this year. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 Ks, 1 walk. The Red Sox offense has been obviously putrid. So you'll have to distinguish was how much was it Bradish being good or how much was the Red Sox being bad. -145, a little too juicy for me. I'm sure you can get a good first 5 inning line on Dylan Bundy. And I think, I probably should go back to it, but I'm going to lay off here. What about you, Andrew? Do you have anything in this game?
Yeah, I really like the first half run line for Minnesota, -0.5 at +114. I mean, I get it. Like you said, Bundy struggled last time. It might cost you, but I think with how hot this Twins team is, 9 of the last 10 wins, and a struggling Baltimore team, and I get it, it's in Baltimore too, but I really think with how well Minnesota's playing, with that plus odds in the first half, I think you have to throw some trust in them in that sense. So I'd take Minnesota Twins first half run line, +114.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's a plus number too. I do not hate that look. As by the way, Tampa Bay Rays scored 2 in the top of the 8th inning. So they're now up 2-0 on the A's. Just looks like they are threatening, and that was with 2 outs too. So tough scene for A's backers there. Tough scene. Next game on the docket here: the New York Yankees versus the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Yankees are the talk of the town. On fire. I think they're going for 11 straight here, or they're going for 12 straight here, and they're gone 11. I've forgotten at this point. I don't want to continue thinking about that compared to how my Red Sox are doing. Nestor Cortez on the bump, and my mustache is slowly getting to Nestor levels. Slowly but surely, we're getting to Nestor levels. Last time out for Nestor, he had a bit of a wobble, but I mean, it was still a good start for him. 5 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 Ks, no walks at Kansas City. The time before that versus the Guardians at home, 6 1/3, 1 hit, 2 runs off of 1 home run, 8 hits or 8 Ks, 2 walks, and then that was the time after his fantastic start at Baltimore. 5 innings, 12 Ks, 3 hits, no earned runs. He's been a great pitcher this year so far, and on the other side, you've got Yusei Kikuchi, who has been the opposite. And there was a comment earlier today, earlier in the stream, was by Anthony here. Teams looking to avoid the sweep are on a 2-8 losing streak. Take the Yankees. Don't throw money away on Kikuchi.
That's an interesting stat.
And yeah, I can't disagree with you guys, man. I really can't. It's Yankees or nothing for me here. I wouldn't be hating a Yankees first five here look as well. Mike Smith says hot bats versus fade. Kikuchi fade. JA on the Yankees trifecta and the over 8. Anthony hit the -2.5 last night, and he's going to hit it again. Man, I mean, this is it's a lot of good. I can't argue with all that, guys. I can't argue it, especially because the Yankees are third against lefties right now, 148 weighted runs created plus, a astronomical number. And for your overlook, I believe JA, if you're looking at it over, definitely the Toronto Blue Jays aren't slapdicks either. 13th against lefties, 101 weighted runs created plus. So I'm right. I believe in all those picks. I am probably not going to move on it myself. I've had a couple plays out already, and I'm very focused on getting over that 30 unit mark. So I'm gonna hope my plays hit. But I think if I didn't have any plays and I had a free bet, my look here would absolutely be Yankees first five, and I will give a line on that just to make sure. Yankees first five -115 is a good number too. So yeah, I thought it could be like a -130, but yeah, Yankees first five would be the look there. Andrew, what about you? Anything here?
I have to agree with the over picks for the game -104, 8.5. And this type of game, I wouldn't hate that pick. I think the Yankees, with how hot their offense is going to be, I mean, they're going to come out firing once again. I'd expect the Yankees to also get this win just with that matchup. So, but I mean, here's the thing: Toronto's offense is good enough to go toe to toe with anybody. So that's the dangerous part of picking against Toronto to win. So that's why I like the over in this game. I'd stay away from a money line or a run line for this game. So I go over 8.5 for the total if I was going to go play, but I'd stay away for this overall because obviously offense has been down as a whole this year. So
Yeah, yeah. I think it's only the Yankees here. I think Yankees first five. I wouldn't hate Anthony if you're gonna go hit for that big score again. And Anthony, let me know what kind of lines you're getting on those -2.5. I would guess they're like +2 to 300 maybe. So that those are good hits. Let me know what you're getting 1-for-1 today. I'm interested in hearing about that. Let's go to the opposite side of the AL East, the shit dwellers, the Red Sox versus the Los Angeles Angels here. Reed Detmers versus Garrett Whitlock here. And honestly, I said it earlier today, I'm kicking myself for not being on the Red Sox last night. The Red Sox fan base has pretty much had a new year or new month, new us. Turn the page. We're forgetting that. Offense is coming back. Here we go. We're at home. It worked last night. I mean, the offense wasn't fucking great last night, but it ended up working. The pitching was phenomenal. A shutout against this Angel squad that's been very good. Very good. And Reed Detmers is not someone that inspires confidence for me. Versus Cleveland last time out, and these are his last 3 starts versus Cleveland. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, a home run, 4 Ks, and a walk, which is great. A good start there. But he also had one at home versus Baltimore, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. And at the Texas Rangers, he went 3 1/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 Ks, and a walk. Sometimes I cannot read my own handwriting, so that is embarrassing.
difficult.
Yeah, sometimes. Garrett Whitlock on the other side, who I very hyperbolically. There we go. That's a good word for me. I very much say that he's the best pitcher in baseball, reliever or starter all the time. And he went to the starting role after I believe no, it would be Tampa Bay was his first actual start. So his last two starts, I should say, because he's been in the pen this year. He's got a 3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, no earned run, 2 Ks, 2 walks appearance at Toronto, and 4 innings, 1 hit ball, 7 Ks at the Tampa Bay Rays. So he's been great. He's been the Red Sox best pitcher. The Red Sox offense obviously is 27th against lefties at 71, and the A's are a middle of the road offense against righties at a 96. My big thing with Reed Detmers right now, as I look at his career numbers, which will be obviously small, is that he is a big home road guy so far in his career. I mean, he's got a total of, I should see here, I can't math, 24 plus 13. Andrew is like 37 ish, 38 innings. There we go. If we count the
23 plus 13.
yeah, so he's got a
36.
10 ERA on the road so far with 13 innings and 24 innings pitched on home with a 4. So I mean, it's a big difference, and it's a small sample size. So I definitely lean Red Sox here. While you take it away here, I'm going to look at the Red Sox first 5 numbers and see if I might add that because I'm a big homer. And if I were to add the Red Sox first 5, I will add the Yankees first 5 to show my non-homerness, my non-bias here. Andrew, what do you have here?
Here I like the no run first inning. I think with the way both teams are, I think, and plus these pitching matchup creates interesting. So, um, both teams have really never faced these guys. The Angels have a couple guys versus Whitlock overall. Kurt Suzuki has one at bat, and Taylor Ward has one at bat as well. So nothing major there. Red Sox and other hitters to face that mirror. So I think I like that first time matchup here for this pitching matchup. So I like the no run first inning minus 115. I think that's a good play for this game here this evening. Overall, I don't know. I don't know if I could pick the Angels or Red Sox. I'm still waiting for the Red Sox to come around and have a big game. I think you'd agree with that. I think eventually you'd expect them to. If there's a pitcher to be against, I think Detmers is a guy that they could get off of. Obviously, with a lot of names at the top of the order there for the Red Sox and a lot of righties against this left-hander coming in. So I think I go no run first inning here would be my play in this game overall.
Okay, I don't hate that. Yeah, so I'm officially making those 2 plays official now that I've said I wasn't going to add anything, but here we are yet again. Here we are adding them as I scroll through the things. I just made the Red Sox official. I just took them first 5 minus a half at even money, and I'm taking the Yankees minus a half at minus 115 as well. I am not a homer, and I am not biased, I guess. So I will let's scroll through the chat here real quick to see if we've got anything else. By the way, Roger that 215 rolling with the Sox today. Thank you, my man. C Blings, he says he loves fading the Reds, but not my play the Brewers. Let's see here. And Roger that also hates the fucking Phillies too, Andrew, because they screwed him in a parlay. Everyone hates the Phillies.
Makes sense.
And by the way, Anthony, I got that Yankee bias, but I like that Sox first 5. See, Anthony, that's the epic handshake right there. Yankees fan, Red Sox fan, betting on both of our hated rivals right there, Anthony. Me and you. And by the way, JA is on the under 8.5. I don't hate that look at all because the Red Sox offense has been that bad, and I think Garrett Whitlock is that good. It is that good.
Well, again, there's something about facing a pitcher for a first time that seems like they always have the edge. So, under 2.
I agree with you there. The first time seeing a pitcher is difficult. That's why second time through your order is obviously a higher OPS. So, by the way, C Bling, Red Sox fan that locked in the Yankees too. What up, Nasty Nate? What up, Okie? So let's get it going. Next game on the docket, another game I have a play on actually. Chicago White Sox and Lucas Giolito, my Cy Young winner this year, hopefully, versus the Chicago Cubs. And Cy Hendricks when he's at home. We've got Kyle Hendricks, I should say, at Wrigley Field here. And I took the first 5 under 3.5 here. Let me double check. First 5 under 3.5 at minus 125. So a little juicy, obviously, but I do believe that Kyle Hendricks will pitch well here, even though he had those bad numbers against the White Sox previously. I heard someone say a good point. I think it was earlier this week, not today, but I think it was yesterday, betting with the bag that um, you have to kind of take those previous batter versus pitchers with a kind of a grain of salt because we are playing with a new baseball. I mean, that is a fact. We're playing with a new baseball that is traveling less and all that good stuff. And Kyle Hendricks at home is the professor for a reason. He can show you a way why he's not a good pitcher. I'm kind of surprised at this point that Cody Ross is still, or sorry, David Ross is still pitching him on the road because at Milwaukee last time out, everyone saw him and we were like, all right, well, we're all throwing our money on Milwaukee. The Brewers. I was on the Brewers. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 home runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks. And when he goes versus Pittsburgh, obviously Pittsburgh sucks, but he's at home, 7 innings, 2 hit ball, no earned runs. Versus the Tampa Bay Rays at home, 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. That's a good squad right there, and he's doing that. It's a good lineup. Andrew, what do you have here?
I don't know. You always got to be careful with Hendricks because you don't know which Hendricks is going to show up. Even at home though, I feel like his splits are pretty good at home, but he's a guy that he's either going to give you like 2 innings of terrible baseball or go pretty far into the game. But I don't know. I see this game kind of being like the A's and Rays game today. It's just a lot of zeros being put up in the innings. So I like the first half total runs under 4 or under 3.5, excuse me, minus 120 is what it's at. I mean, a little pricey there, but I think again I see this game being a lot of zeros, especially where these two teams go. So I don't know what you think about that, but yeah, I take the under 3.5 runs for this game at minus 120 would be my play in this one.
No, that's the exact play I have, Andrew. Yeah. I see you're listening to me, and you're a good listener. There you go. So you're riding with me. So we're all on the same thing there, Andrew. I got a minus 125. I bet that last night. So I'm glad that you got a little better line than me. But I'm confident. And we haven't talked about Lucas Giolito much, by the way, in this breakdown. We've talked a lot about Hendricks. I keep saying Kendricks.
That's because he's the questionable one. You know what you're getting at, Lucas. You know he's going to go out there and deal.
Yeah, and we'll say Lucas, he had his first kind of meh start this year, but it was 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs off 2 home runs, 7 Ks, a walk versus the LA Angels, and that's a good lineup. That's a really good lineup. So I'm makes me feel a little better that he held his own there. Makes me feel good about the Cy Young ticket, and we'll see how that goes throughout the year. But the White Sox against righties, 27th, 73 weighted runs created plus, so very bad. And the Cubs are falling off quickly against righties. They used to be really good, but the last 2 weeks, 17th, 94 weighted runs created plus. So they're below average too. So first 5 under 3.5 here. And obviously, let's double check. I was saying thank you, actually. Chief actually mentioning it. Weather is way better today in Chicago. I'm going to double check here, but obviously Chicago is the only park that I really care about the wind at. I think that the wind is a big factor in Chicago. However, and by the way, apparently there's a 52% chance of rain in Boston, so that's not fun. The wind in Chicago right now is 8 miles per hour wind, according to RotoWire. So take that with a grain of salt, obviously. What about you, Andrew? Do you have what are your thoughts here?
I would say I also think I think this pitching matchup's so lopsided towards Chicago too. Like if you're going to pick, I don't hate the Chicago minus 1.5.
Well, there's 2 Chicagos here, Andrew. Let's remember that.
True. Sorry, the White Sox. That's what I'm talking about. I don't hate the White Sox minus 1.5 run line plus 135 is that. So I think those odds are really good. There. I think Lucas is that much better than Kyle. So I think that's a risk I'd be willing to take with this pitching matchup, or definitely the White Sox money line, but that's a bit pricey at minus 144. So I consider the White Sox though for the run line.
By the way, the dreaded 5th inning has come in Pittsburgh, Detroit. Pittsburgh
is your favorite, right?
Well, I would say that, but a lot of hearts get broken in the 5th inning, and right now I don't know how it happened, but I looked over. It was 2-0, and now it is 2-1. Pittsburgh with Quintana on the mound, guy on first, Robbie Grossman on the bump, going to monitor that situation because some hearts could be broken there, or some hearts could be made happy with a Detroit home run and flip that first five. But we
Some
will
people are
see.
gonna be happy. Some people are gonna be mad. Everybody can't be happy though. That's for sure.
Well, if you're betting with me, hopefully you are happy. And so another team that's made a lot of people happy is the people betting against the Cincinnati Reds. Vladimir Gutierrez and the Reds, Freddie Peralta and the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, what are we gonna say? No Votto. I should double check if Votto's still out because he was on the COVID IL, but I have not heard of his return. As I look on RotoWire, it is a confirmed lineup with no Votto, so no Votto. Freddie Peralta, a fantastic pitcher. Obviously, I think any play on the Brewers here would be warranted, but they're very juiced for a reason. And I'm going to just take a quick peek at the run line. The run line is minus 140. So ultimately, a stay off game for me. Just too much juice on these props and plays. So, what about you, Andrew? Anything here?
I see what you're saying with the numbers being juicy. One play I do like minus 120 Brewers over 4.5 runs. I think in Milwaukee, a game like this, I think they're bound to get at least 5 runs. Again, like you said, the run line's obviously a high number and a juicy number, but I think over for the game over 4.5 at minus 120 isn't the worst case, and that's the play for me in this game, and that's what I want. I'd take that.
That's interesting. And by the way, shout out Oki, a fellow Oklahoma State guy, by the way, Andrew. Andrew and I, actually, Oki, you'll like to hear this. Andrew and I met at Oklahoma State. That's
Yep.
how me and Andrew met, or that's how we are good buddies. He obviously is an Oklahoma State guy, too. He says that tonight is the night the Reds break the streak. Tonight, they break the
I
streak.
might.
Vlad Gutierrez, here we go against Freddie Peralta. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that, Oki. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to write that down and hope that hits just for you, my man. All right, so let's get what's up. You were going to say something, Andrew? Sorry.
Oh, and I was Oklahoma State talk. We lost another. Isaiah Keikley went to Ohio State today. So
Ice likely went to Ohio State. Well,
yep.
I don't give a fuck about basketball, to be honest.
He's
So,
now on the other side of the OSU train.
well, yeah, I mean he stinks anyways. Whatever. Next game on the docket: the Nationals versus the Rockies here, and a lot of people on the Rockies, and I can see why. Patrick Corbin,
Absolutely.
oh man, 0-4 with an over an 8 ERA, 8.69, very nice there, Patrick Corbin. Miami, he had a pretty good start. I don't know what we're gonna call it here. Miami 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 8 Ks, 2 walks, and that's probably as good as it's gonna get with Pat Corbin there. I don't see it getting much better at all. Austin Gomber on the other side at your Philadelphia Phillies slapped them around a little bit. 3 hits, 3 runs, only 2 earned, 6 Ks, and a walk. And the big factor here, Rockies, second against left-handed pitching these last 2 weeks. 152 weighted runs created plus. Matt Randall, shout out to Matt Randall, and the taint play of the day is on the Rockies, I believe. It's a minus a half. And shout out to Kyle Hentlian, by the way, for the $10 dono. Another banner up there for Kyle Hentlian, my man. Reds suck. Anyone who's just betting them should stop betting. Oki, you might have to fight Kyle Hentlian, but I appreciate the dono, my man. And I don't think Oki actually has any money on him, but it's going to be fun to see that. It will be fun to see. Ultimately, like I said, I've got nothing here. Colorado Rockies first 5 minus a half would be my play here, but I'm not going to make that official. Shout out to Matt Randall and Taint. Andrew, anything here?
Yeah, I think Colorado coming off a struggling game yesterday. I think the final was 10-2 in favor of the Nationals. I think Colorado bounces back today. They hit Patrick Corbin really good so far throughout his career. Corbin's obviously been struggling for a long time since he got that contract out in Washington. So the 2 plays here, I take at plus 130. I'll take Colorado's run line and then over 4.5 there for the total runs for him against Patrick Corbin.
I don't hate that at all. I look over at the looking over at the screens. It looks like Yandy Diaz got hit with a pitch or something. He was on the ground. I thought he got hit in the face with a pitch, but it does not seem like he got hit in the leg. And by the way, the Tigers, of course, tie it up in the 5th inning, 2-2. and Javi Baez on the mat at the plate now, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. Actually, he flies out to shallow center field. So there's 2 outs in the fifth inning. Can the Tigers mount the comeback for the full fifth inning? Ooh, and Yandy got hit right in the knee. That would suck ass. That would suck a lot. All right, Andrew. Go ahead. Sorry.
And the game's in Coors Field, so that obviously helps Colorado out a lot. But
Yeah.
overall, the Rockies are hitting Corbin 343 batting average and a 395 on base percentage. And it's not minimal at bats. That's an 105 at bats as well. So very good numbers there for Colorado. Blackman's hitting 289, Crone's hitting 375, Diaz is hitting 417, and McMahon is hitting 556. And then Jose Iglesias hit 600. So a lot of good numbers there for Colorado.
A measly 600. All right, so it's Colorado or pass for us here. Last game on the slate, the newly cemented, I would say is cemented earlier this morning, but I'll keep saying newly cemented, Tony Gonsolin today on the bump versus Alex Wood, lefty-righty matchup. Gonsolin, 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, only 2 earned, 5 Ks and a walk at Arizona. It was his worst start of the season so far, and I mentioned it earlier today in the show, Jimmy the Bag. He might just be a home road splits guy. Gonsolin, he had that little bit of a struggle at Arizona, but versus the Braves, he went 6 innings, only 1 hit ball, 3 Ks, 3 walks, no earned runs, obviously. And versus the shitty Cincinnati Reds, 4 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 Ks, and 3 walks. I'm pulling up his career splits right now. Yeah, he's got exactly 72 and 2/3 innings pitched both ways, so I love that. Thank you for that symmetry. 2.03 ERA at home, a 2.03 ERA at home, and a 3.39 away. Hitters are hitting 173 at home against Mr. Gonsolin, the Cat Man. So obviously for me, I think I'm picking Dodgers or nothing here. Maybe a Dodgers first 5 look here as well. But I'm not going to make anything official here. I'm passing. The Dodgers are hitting 19th against lefties at 92 weighted runs created plus, and the Giants are 11th against right-handed pitching at 107. So I think this game will be a stay-off spot for me, especially after Wood has a little bit of a blow-up against the Nationals. 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 Ks, and 1 walk, and a back-to-back against the Nationals. So nothing for me here, Andrew. Do you have anything on this one?
No, overall, no. I think Alex Wood's going to throw well, though, so I think I'd pay attention to a lot of the unders, especially the first 5 under if you were going to play something. I don't know. I with Giants losing 2 straight, they're obviously looking to get off that. So I'd almost stay away from a money line situation in this game or a run line, especially. But I mean, anything can happen, especially when you got these 2 rivals going at it. They're always fun games to watch. So I look at it as just a competitive game overall, and probably lean towards a lot of the unders in this one just because of Alex Wood and Tony Gonsolin.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's wrap it up here. Short show. I mean, we don't have that many games to talk about, unfortunately.
Very
but
weird.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what
used to the Sunday show, so this is adjustment.
Yeah, right. I'm used to, I should say I'm used to. I'm doing this every day, so I'm starting to learn the rhythms of baseball and what days do and don't have games for the show. I have right now. Let's count out these plays real quick. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays now coming up on the second slate. Andrew, I'll ask you for any plays that you want to make official here in a second. But first, I'll run down mine. Took the Phillies first 5 minus a half at minus 120. Those games should be starting here very closely. Let me double check on the time to see when these games are starting. Yes, all these games will be starting shortly, so about 30 minutes. So you guys have plenty of time to go get your bets in and all that good stuff. I got Phillies first 5 minus a half, and I took the Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs first 5 under 3.5 at minus 125 and minus 120 for that Phillies line. I also now have Phillies first 5 and Phillies Rangers first 5 under 4.5 at minus 125. So 3 pairs of 120 and 25s there. And I took the Red Sox first 5 minus a half and the Yankees first 5 minus a half, minus 115 for the Yankees, plus 100 for the Red Sox. Very interesting. Very interesting series of bets there, Andrew. I'm excited for this. and hopefully we smash through that 30 unit barrier. There we go. There's the word I was looking for. English is my second language. Sometimes I'm trying to sift through the words there. But yeah, I'm trying to break through the 30 unit barrier for good here. Let's see it.
Absolutely.
Andrew, anything you want to make official?
Yeah, it'd be 3 in this one. Again, I'm gonna lie with the Rockies, so I'm gonna go the -1.5 run line at +130. I'll go with the team total at +100, and then Milwaukee Brewers over 4.5 -120. There again, I like that matchup against the Reds. And I will say, depending on what you use, some of those parlay boosts. There's a good one: Phillies, Yankees, Brewers, all to win at +350 is the boost. So that's worth the risk.
Interesting. All right, and just to shout out some leans, I do have been starting to like write these down early in the morning, or I should say, like whenever I first look at the lines, and I kind of go to them after I'm done like putting all the plays in because I forget to go through them sometimes. And I did write down early lean Boston first 5 money line question mark. So I'm glad I did get there with the Red Sox, I guess. So I'm glad I did that. Milwaukee first 5 question mark. Not getting there with that one. I did put St. Louis, Kansas City Royals over. I did not do that. Instead, I bid with just the Kansas City Royals team total over. So I should have just listened to myself there. And I did do the Chicago White Sox first 5 under. So just a little recap there for everything we're working with. And it's going to be a fun day, Andrew. It's going to be a fun day. Do you have any final words for the people watching the show? And I'm going to run through the chat here in a second, so get your chats in there. Appreciate you guys. But any final words for you guys? For you, Andrew. Sorry.
No, just another fun evening of baseball. I think I'm most excited for that Giants Dodgers game. That always brings out the best of both teams, and always a fun rivalry to watch.
Yes, it is. Official prediction for the Phillies game, Andrew?
Official prediction for the Phillies? Oh, I'll go 6-3 Phillies victory.
Okay, official prediction for the 76ers?
Sixers?
He knows he's losing, guys. He knows he's losing.
No. Kyle Lowry's out. We'll bounce back tonight. We'll figure things out.
Okay,
we got to get me one for Miami, so I can go game 5.
But I'm glad you have a steady pair of hands on the bench with Doc Rivers. I'm sure nothing will go wrong there. William Torres, thanks for watching the show. Anthony saying what I'm thinking, Heat by 30. Nutflush Allen, Okie, my guy. By the way, Okie shutting out the Oklahoma State baseball team this year. Very good. Don't know. I do not watch the Oklahoma State baseball team, unfortunately, but I do know they are very good, and I will be rooting for them when the College World Series happens. Brothers and Bets, C Blings, all you guys, thank you so much for watching the show. Roger that, 215. Everyone for watching. Appreciate you guys for doing it. And Kyle Hentley, and again, thank you for the $10 dono earlier. You'll get your other banner here soon. And it's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a fun night of baseball and of sports. Remember, everyone, to say hey when you guys see us on social media. Follow me on Twitter at Jose Bouquett. Follow Andrew on Twitter at AJ_Santangelo there. You can see it on the screen. And we'll be back here again tomorrow, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. Bobano, back again. Thursday, Bobanos. It's going to be a fun time. Until then, say hey, everyone.